This is the Homecoming with the Downing Brothers podcast, where we talk about real estate, business, and financial literacy. They live by the motto, dream, plan, execute. Your host, Anthony and Anton Downing.
Welcome to Homecoming with the Downing Brothers. This is Anthony.
This is Anton.
Hey, man. Who do we have today?
We have Chrishon Lampley, owner, founder of Love Cork Screw.
That's right. You got it right. Love, Cork, Screw. All one flowing sentence. You got that? All right. So we're so happy to have you here with us. Thank you for coming through.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So let's just jump right into it. This is Homecoming with the Downing Brothers, so we want to learn about home. So where do you call home? And when you were growing up, what was your first exposure to, like, businesses like this or real estate or whatever?
Well, home Chicago, but, you know, everybody from Chicago doesn't want people to say that grew up in the suburbs that they're from Chicago, right? So, I grew up in Downers Grove, born and raised, but I've been in the city since, 1996, so I'm kind of showing my age. So I've been downtown since, exactly. But lived a little bit everywhere, New York, Las Vegas, you name it, but home is definitely Chicago for me.
All right, cool. So when you were growing up, was there any pivotal moment in your childhood where you were exposed to, like, real estate or business or financial literacy and it really stuck out to you and made you want to do this?
Yeah, big time. Actually, growing up, we were actually one of the first black families in Downers Grove. So I got exposure to a lot of things. But where it came to real estate and business, definitely came from my father because he had good and bad experiences when it came to business, when it came to real estate and flipping property, ownership. He owned several buildings. So I was the one cutting the grass and the one doing the drywall right along with him on Saturdays. Okay. Yeah. I think he wanted me to be a guy, I swear. So I definitely had exposure years back, and it held true to today. And that whole work ethic of working hard and not giving up has stuck with me for all these years and still going.
That's awesome. So I mean, when you're navigating through, I guess maybe high school, or maybe it happened in college, was there ever a moment where you said, I'm not working for other people, I want my own business?
All the time. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to do my own thing, whether it was me trying to sell Amway along with my father in the 80s, whether it be me doing some dressing, styling that I used to do for rappers way back in the day. So I always had that of getting my own because just my parents instilled that in me. I mean, my father grew up on 79th and Stony. My mother grew up in Wheaton. So you have these two extreme backgrounds, but you cannot give up and you have no choice but to work harder. When I mentor, I always tell people, as African Americans or as brown people, we have to work 3 times as hard just to be considered regular. So I always had that since a kid, and it stuck with me all these years. Yeah,
well, I can relate to that. I mean, I always feel when I go into a situation that I need to be the best at what I'm doing just to get recognized, you know.
And then do better.
And then do better.
Yeah.
And do better. You know, so I mean, I love that. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of little girls out there that are probably watching you, and you never know who's watching, right?
Never know.
But you are setting a standard. You're setting an example. Because when I think about entrepreneurs, you're one of the first people I think of.
Well, in my industry, there's only 60 of us out of 111,000 in the world that are African American women. So
111,000.
111,000. There's 60.
Talking about like in the wine industry.
In negociant, yes. As a negociant, there's literally 60 of us out of 111,000. So
hold on. Wait. We need to define what negociant.
She used a fancy word for all the homies out there. Negociant.
I did. Negociant.
Hey, I think this is a great time for Anton's definition of the day.
Today's definition is negociant, and that is a wine merchant or wholesaler, specifically one who buys grapes, grape juice, or partially fermented or finished wine from others and sells the wine produced under his or her own name.
Say that word again.
Negociant.
Negociant.
No, negociant. But close.
Man, I feel fancy though.
Y'all better rewind that and play it again.
All right, so tell us, like, how did you get introduced to the wine game? I mean, you went on a on a vineyard tour or something? I mean, what happened?
That and about 1,000 other things. So the quick of it is I worked in so many different ends of the industry. I worked in distribution as sales, and I have one of the top territories in Illinois, which is Naperville, Lisle, Lombard, Wheaton, that whole area. But I also worked in actually ownership of a bar. So I had so many different aspects of the business already that I knew it was time to stop making money for everyone else, and I wanted something even bigger and better. I didn't want to be stuck in those four walls, so I wanted to go national. I was sick of selling, but I was listening to what people were saying, and they wanted to support small batch vineyards. So I said, you know what, let me take all these connections from these different areas, and I want to do it myself. And people laughed. They're like, Chrishon, you don't own a vineyard. How are you going to do this? I said, but I'm going to tell those vineyards I'm going to outsell them. And to this day, I've outsold each a vineyard times 3. So I do custom crushes. So the wine is my own. So yes, it's like purchasing grapes, and then no, I'm not crushing with my feet in the bathtub. The vineyards are actually producing it for me, and they're producing my exact formula to my specifications.
Okay, wow.
It ain't easy.
So you develop those relationships.
Yeah.
With
years.
people who, and so that's, let's break this down. The relationships that you developed, you had to develop relationships with people who own vineyards.
Sure.
Then you had to develop relationships with distributors.
Which is actually the most, that's more difficult than developing with the vineyards.
All right. So those are the two main relationships, or is there somebody else that we live in?
Those are two main ones, but that is so funny. Those are the hardest main ones, but they're not the ones that make you any money. So it goes from me to the vineyard, from the vineyard to the distributor, from the distributor to the retailers and restaurants, from that to the consumers. So look at all those tiers that you have to go through to even sell one bottle, or to even get recognized, or to even get in the market. So it's so much. And then in addition to that, there's licensing. I'm one of the most high regulated industries that you can possibly be in with liquor. So it's not easy, and there's so much to it. And people always come up to me and say, oh, I want to have my own wine. I say, well, good luck. You have to really,
hard work. It's long hours.
What year did you start?
Sexy. I started Love Corkscrew 2013, so we're going on 7 years.
7 years coming up.
7 years.
Man, I must have been drinking Love Corkscrew the entire time.
Yes, I've known you guys the entire time.
Right, because I don't remember a time when I wasn't,
I remember when you launched.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's rewind a little bit. All right, so you had developed relationships. It looks like there's 7 different parts to it that you're developing relationships.
Probably
with.
more.
And each one of those, they are like kind of like phases. Like one goes to the other.
Yes.
You said you've been in business for 7 years, but how long did it take before you started?
Oh gosh,
to get to the point where you could launch.
Yeah, 3 years. It took 3 years before I could even be taken seriously, and that's with a little bit of everything. That's with licensing. That's with contracts. That was with developing the relationships of the distributor, which is, again, that's like pivotal. You can have plenty of vineyards or wineries that say, yeah, we'll take your $100,000 to start, but then what? You're just stuck with cases of wine. You're just stuck with cases of whiskey, whatever. Yeah, sure. If you want to just have your own cognac, go for it. But who's going to sell it for you? Because you legally can't sell it. You can't sell it out your trunk.
Right.
That's illegal. So there's so many moving parts, but understand there's so much competition. There are celebrities that have had cognacs and scotches and wines that have gone out of business. I've outlasted some celebrities. So if that doesn't tell you that this business is not only extremely cutthroat, but you have to be taken seriously in the industry. It's not just about having money. It's about having believability. It's about actually loving what you do and enjoying it, not just throwing an investment. And it has to be that you just love it so much that people see it and it resonates.
You know, I remember seeing you, or I guess not so much you, but the people that work for you doing wine tastings in like local liquor stores. And now I'm seeing you in Target. And like, how did that progress? Did it start off with mid-level liquor stores, or how did that go?
I mean, I was in the hood. Me personally, standing there with a little table Or opposite, I was way out in Schaumburg. It was me traveling from store to store, making sure that people knew what Love Corkscrew was. There was tons of rejection, tons of people like, I don't like it, or they don't trust me, or I must be working for somebody else. It's not mine. And I took that. And it was one of those things where, because, again, going back to my childhood and having so many trials and tribulations, I became very, very strong in that not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to like your product. And that's okay. Right. But I knew the industry that I was in, was a $130 billion industry, number one.
Whoa.
Wine is just wine is $130 billion.
Just that part.
Just that part. So I took that. I took, again, the expertise that I had with wine sales and with bar ownership, that I knew what was missing in the industry. So I trusted not only the people that I worked with, but I trusted my gut that I was doing the right thing. And that was producing something that was not intimidating to others. A lot of people can't pronounce Chenin Blanc and Chianti and Bordeaux, but they can sure enough say head over heels. You can say good times, good friends. So I had a means to my madness.
That's why you had the creative name.
That's why the names.
I always thought that was fun, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
I didn't understand thinking behind
you may not remember that's a Riesling, but you're going to remember it was head over heels, and you liked it.
And I liked it. And I want to. Yeah. You send your friends to the store. Oh, you on your way back? Hey, give me that.
Head
sales
over
and
heels.
marketing.
Head
I've been in
heels.
it 25 years. I've been in sales and marketing. So I took that as well, and just tried to make it blossom. And 200,000 bottles sold later.
Yo,
200,000
bottles sold.
200,000 bottles.
Man,
yeah.
That's something.
When I say it, I can't even believe. I'm like, wow.
Man, I'm just happy for you, man. I'm
It's-
happy
it's-
for you. I'm proud of you.
When you broke into Target, was that just in the Chicago or the state of Illinois, or was that like everywhere?
So that is just in Illinois as far as Target's concerned. Again, with liquor license laws and rules with different states and moonshine laws and all that, it's very difficult to go in from state to state to state because I would have to then sign with another distributor in another state and then go through that process. So that's coming. But Target and I discussed, let's just start in the area that I know and love. Let's see how we can move. Product, which we're doing great in these Target locations, but we have to prove I'm small, I'm tiny, I'm tiny compared to these huge wine companies. So let's see how I move there, and then they can actually help me make some introductions to distributors and work on a bigger platform.
So that
it's hard.
200,000 over the past 7 years,
Yeah.
that was mostly in Chicagoland?
That was, I would say, 60% Chicago, if not more. And then, of course, I can ship now nationally. So I've been shipping nationally. I have great fans in the DMV area. I ship to Texas, Atlanta. So definitely a lot of fans around Love Corkscrew, and just working with different organizations. I've done a lot of events outside the state, but Chicago is what launched me. Chicago is what's been good to me. And I always say, if you can make it in Chicago, you can make it anywhere. I've lived in New York. Chicago, you can make it anywhere. And the love and support from Chicago has been amazing.
Yeah. So we keep on talking about Target, but where else what other stores are there?
Gosh, Mariano's, Benny's, Whole Foods, Kenbark, Kenwood. I'm literally in over 100 locations in Chicago, so a lot more.
Right. So pretty much anywhere you normally go.
Just
if you
about.
live in Chicago, anywhere you normally
I mean,
go.
you know, the homies are like all over the United States. But they're going to know Benny's and they're going to know Target.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and they're going to know my website so they can ship it.
Right, and they're going to know your website because we're going to make sure about it before it's over with. All right, so good. I mean, I love to hear about like the overwhelming support. But you know what? I'm going to bring up a homecoming event, and this is for another African-American woman who's an entrepreneur who didn't get the support initially, at least from some people, a small fraction of people. And let's talk about that. So the Honeypot company founder, Beatrice Dixon, had unwarranted backlash over a brief Target ad that highlighted her company that specializes in plant-based feminine care. In the commercial, Dixon says, the reason why it's so important for Honeypot to do well is so that the next black girl that comes up with a great idea, she can have a better opportunity. That brought out the haters, who proceeded to post a slew of negative product reviews on the brand's Trustpilot page. Apparently, there was a number of white women upset about Dixon's statement empowering young black girls. So, you heard about this?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So, what was your take on that, and how do you feel about I guess, well, she had a positive outcome, right?
Yeah, she's almost tripled her sales at this point. So 2 takes on it. Number 1, I'm actually part of the same program they are with in Target, and that's under the Supplier Diversity Program. So Love Corkscrew was approached to do one of those commercials as well. So we shall see if we end up doing it. But I understand exactly the platform that she had to utilize, and the advertisement was great. The other side of it is Love Corkscrew. Years ago, I was on CNBC, the job interview, and being put in this national light. I never forget, I had friends over. We were watching the premiere, and Love Corkscrew was the premiere night, and we were the number 2 show. I mean, it was huge, right? For us to be on CNBC, it was huge.
Right.
So I'm not looking at my phone because I'm like, I'm sure my phone is going off. Everybody's trying to reach out. This is my first time seeing the edited version. And they always say when you're on TV, you don't know how they're going to edit. So I never forget, I woke up the next morning and I had over 250 messages. I would say a good 40 to 50% of them were racist. There were more people saying that because we chose a black man to be our employee. So it was a show about us as a company choosing the best interview, the best employee. Because we chose a black man, we're racist. Because we didn't choose the white woman that came to the interview in shorts. Now, mind you, this is not scripted. This is completely... it was
these are real people.
Really happening.
Yeah.
We really hired people.
Right.
Because we didn't hire the girl that came in shorts who was white, then we must be racist. So my point of this is when you get put in the national light and you get put in front of so many people, you don't know what's going to happen. And a lot of times those, what they call keyboard warriors, find it easy to come after you. And a great friend of mine said to me, number 1, we all know all press is good press, right? So, like, for instance, Honeypot has doubled in sales. 2, when you get those racists or those people that attack you, he said to me, Chrishon, because I was in my feelings, he said, Chrishon, do you think you'll ever see that person? No. So why are you worried about it?
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about it?
Right.
So it shouldn't even get to you. I'm not going to see that person in the middle of nowhere in Omaha or wherever they're sitting that are coming and attacking me, number 1. So let that go. Number 2, from all those negative people, how many more opportunities did you get and still getting?
Right.
So, and that's exactly what's happening with Honeypot. But I do give people out there a challenge. I don't want it to be where their sales just double or triple right now because they're the hottest thing right now. This needs to continue. For them to be an African-American company in Target, like myself, and there's a very small pot of us. I think there's like literally 14 African-American companies in Target. Don't stop there. Don't because, it's over now and we've shared it on social media 50 times. Now we're not going to buy the products anymore. How about continue buying the products because they're actually great products?
Right.
So just an uptick in sales for a month, that's not going to make her successful.
Right.
Us to continue supporting Will. So I think it was a great thing that happened, and it's life. It's something you cannot go, that will not go away, and that's okay because it's what makes us stronger.
Yeah. All of that. Like your shirt. Everything you said.
Everything
You said.
Man, that was perfect.
We gotta have sustained support for the brands from our community that we care and we use, and we have to actually take a chance on them too.
How about that?
Sometimes we don't even take a chance. We just walk right past it, like whatever. No, how about we just try it out and see, and if we like it, then we can.
Just like any
now
other
you discovered
product.
something that you like, and now you
just
can
like
support it.
anything else.
And I would say this: if y'all look behind us, or if you look in front of us, these are black-owned products. The Love Corkscrew wine right here for the homies that are listening to this streaming. Head Over Heels is a sweet Riesling, and then behind us we have Luster products, shea butter, coconut oil, and all those and of course all of our merch. So I mean, we support it. We want you all to actually see it in the background. Sometimes you listen to our voice and don't see the big picture. We're showcasing these things on purpose.
Right. We have a platform and we're using it to support. And I don't know if we're not keeping count or anything. Yes, we are. half of our guests are women. Half of our guests are African American women because we know it's important as men to support our women and to give them a platform so that they can can get out here and showcase, their greatness. And, and I've had the wine. I love it,
Thank you. And we're the largest growing sector. African-American women owners are the largest growing, and we continue going. And the help from our men is nothing. It's nothing that we don't see. So thank you.
All right, great. All right, so this is a segment we have. It's called the Dream, Plan, Execute Moment of your life. So just give us a story. I mean, is there something you dreamed of, something that you planned and you wrote it out, or something that you took action on and executed? Can you give us a dream, plan, execute moment first?
So actually, yes. Besides the obvious, with ownership of Love Corkscrew, it actually just happened, and I would go down to saying that it was the best day of my life. I just did a TEDx. So for those that you don't know, that's a TED Talk platform where millions of people can see you and view you on a YouTube on the TED Talk platform, and we're talking millions. And you go on stage, you're in this red dot, and you have up to 18 minutes, which is a hard stop, and you tell your story or tell a story. And it has to be organic. You don't get any notes, nothing. It has to just be you talking to the audience. And I was asked to do that. I did it at DeSable on Monday, and it was the best day of my life because it gave me I think mine was about 10 minutes long. And I was able to tell my story from a kid growing up in Downers Grove and all these failures and successes that led up to Love Corkscrew and what I produced. And I had never been able to tell it on a platform like that really resonated. People were telling me that my talk showed so much humanity. And, people hear my story all the time. I'm the comeback kid, but not in a way that I was able to tell it. I kind of I was in theater back in the day, so I'm able to tell it in my theatrical form, and I was able to inspire. And the title was How Success Screwed Me.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to be very excited. I'm sure you guys probably get it.
You have great taglines. I swear you, God, you really do.
You're clever.
And he's like,
some clickbait. So I'm very excited to get that on the platform. It's going to be out there in a couple of weeks, and I'm looking for minimum. I put it out there in the universe at minimum 1.7 million views, and that will only enhance Love Corkscrew.
Where are we going to find that?
So you're going to see it on TED Talk. So it's on the TED platform, but of course I'm going to reshare it. It's on YouTube.
Right.
But I'm going to reshare it
and we just
many
look up
times.
Chrishon Lampley on
Real
there.
simple. But
Okay,
I'm
we can
going behind
repost them on our
Shonda
page,
Rhimes.
too.
I'm going behind Lovey. I'm going behind Tracy Ellis Ross. Like, there's so many amazing black women that have done a TED Talk, and for me to be chosen to do it was the best day of my life.
I can't wait to see
Best
it.
day.
I can't wait to see it.
shout out to Lovey. We went to college with Lovey.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She did an amazing TED Talk. I think she has one of the highest views in the 5 to 10 million. I don't know, but I can't wait. I can't wait
to see it too.
Yeah.
Now I got to go look on TEDx and go check
It's
it out.
coming about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So.
All right.
All right. Great. All right. So at this point, off the top of your head, when you hear the word homecoming, what does it mean to you?
To me, it means coming into who you are. It means your purpose. I think we all, and this is funny, this was kind of part of my TED Talks, we all can define and redefine success many times in our lives. But once you've found your purpose, I remember I said at the end, it sounds better than any musical you can ever experience. You have to go through a lot of things, and that can lead you into what you consider success at the time. But as we get older and as we grow, it completely changes. But you're developing a journey. And a lot of times that's the answer. And we just have to be patient, sit back, and know that you do have a purpose. And when it finds you, it's beautiful. It's amazing. And I found my purpose. So I'm home.
You are home. All right. So just piggybacking off what you just said, can you give us like a homecoming story, something that's like funny or awkward or exciting or just something that sticks out in your mind?
Oh gosh, I've had so many awkward moments. I think definitely a slap in the face was a funny one. I did a tasting at a restaurant one time, and a promoter was part of this tasting as well. But the promoter was promoting like a whole nother brand spirit. I don't know if it was Hennessy or something else. So I remember I'm about to do this tasting. I'm looking out the door, and it's like the line around the block, and I'm thinking, oh my God, these people are coming to taste wine. I'm so excited. I get up on the stage. I'm about to do this tasting to didn't know it was like literally out of the 300 people that were there, only 20 really were there that cared about my whole tasting.
Yeah.
And I'm just like going for it and nobody's paying attention. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, oh, they're not here for Love Corkscrew. They're here for Hennessy. It was the most embarrassing moment of my life. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just like cut the crowd a little bit. You know, I'll shout out my sorors. I did this big oop. Ain't not one soror in the house. So it was like crickets.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right. I get it. All right. So let me come back down to earth and know that, oh, no, it's not about you, Chrishon. How about that? It's about Hennessy tonight.
And same.
Yeah, I was like, all right, time for me to go. So those 20 people got plenty of wine, and then I left. They were happy, and the rest got Henny.
I think it happens to all of us at some point. I don't know if everybody will admit it, but it happens to all of us at some point.
I always admit my failure.
Yes, this was like a crowd full of black folks.
Yeah.
Something about black people in Hennessy, man. It's like
Yeah.
get tunnel vision, man.
It was a hip hop like wine tasting. So I'm thinking I'm old school. I'm a little older than most. So I'm playing like old stuff. Like I told the DJ, play like Group Home, play like all these old school hits that I like know and love from Guru. And,
okay. Guru.
And this was like in between, like during the intermission. So I'm like, okay, they're gonna like warm up to me then.
Mm-hmm.
They had no idea any of the hip hop that I was playing from the DJ. Me and the DJ are looking at each other.
Y'all didn't know the audience that day.
You
Look, I didn't know they were full of Henny. So so that was my issue. So yeah, I don't want that to happen again.
All right. So at this point, we want to ask you: is there a charitable cause or a charitable organization that you want to highlight?
Yeah, one of my favorite. I've been dealing with them for so I've been in business 7 years, almost the entire 7 years, and that would be YWCA. That's for women empowerment. So not YMCA, YWCA. But they do amazing things for women, entrepreneurs, business women, and they've done so much support to Love Corkscrew. And as much as I can, I give back and mentor to young women as well. But and like I always say, it's not just women. Anybody that I can tell to follow their dreams and to work hard to do it, then I've done my job. But definitely YWCA.
Awesome.
Dory McCordis, she's the one in charge, and she's amazing.
Awesome. So everybody out there, all the homies, go ahead and look them up. All right. So, I mean, hey, this was definitely a homecoming journey.
Yeah.
I mean, you took us from Downers Grove all the way to that unnamed place where all the other stuff went down.
Right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, though, I mean, I just, this is you're such a great example of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
7 years is a long time, a great time for anyone who starts a business, because so many people failed after 1 year.
Yes.
And
right.
you're 200,000 bottles into it.
Yeah.
I
ain't stopping. I promise you.
And I'm looking forward.
Hopefully retiring soon. Hopefully. I'm getting old, so we'll see. Hopefully I can retire and pass it on to somebody. But in the meantime,
scale it.
Another bottle.
Scale it up.
Where can they find Love Corkscrew in social media?
Very simple, just at Love Corkscrew. So no dots, no commas in between, just Love Corkscrew. You'll know everything that's going on within the company and then some. Love Corkscrew. All social media, Love Corkscrew.
LoveCorkscrew.com.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Absolutely. Website, yes.
All right, so we're going to push that out through all of our platforms, and we really appreciate you coming out.
Oh, this was fun. Thank
and
you.
hanging out with the
Yeah.
Downer Brothers
Thanks.
on Homecoming with the Downer Brothers.
Love it.
All right, for all the homies out there, stay tuned for Anthony's After Set. Thank you for sticking around for Anthony's After Set. All right, homies, this is what I want to leave you guys with. You just listened to this episode, and one of the things that stuck out to me is that life is too short to worry about people that exist in a free app. Hear that one more time. Life is too short to worry about what people who exist in a free app think about you. Sometimes there are going to be haters that come out on social media to try and tear down whatever it is that you're working on. Ignore it. Stay true to what you are doing. If you are passionate about your business, if you're passionate about your journey and whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, then you need to just continue to work on that and work with people who are there to support you. Worry about those people and their opinions, the ones who are trying to constructively help you get to your goal. It's not important to listen to what people say who are simply out there in the universe somewhere typing negative things. And in fact, many times those negative things end up giving you great ideas that will take you even further. So, one last time, life is too short to worry about what people are saying on a free app. You worry about your support system. Go out there and dream, plan, execute. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to Homecoming with the Downing Brothers podcast. For more information on how to dream, plan, execute in real estate, business, and financial literacy, visit www.thedowningbrothers.com.